Hey guys, it's day whatever. It's supposed to be 58 degrees out here, but that's a lie. Sun's out. It already feels miserable. I'm just a big bucket of joy today. I have an important interview. Not exactly ready for that. I don't know if you can ever be ready for it. Yeah, it's just a stressful day. I'm out here today in the Under Armour Velociti 2s, I guess. I think is what they are. From the side. There's from the other side. My normal shoe size is a 10.5. These are crazily a 12.5, but I had heard the ankle area fits narrow, so I picked these up, and I've got actually 2 layers of sock on, and by the time I put my orthotic in for the plantar fasciitis, I can barely tie the laces. I was able to get a tiny little double knot on both shoes, but I barely was able to do it, and now I've got about a thumb's width of room between the edge of the toe and the toe box. So I guess some runners actually prefer that for some reason. I don't know. Nothing feels loose on the shoe at all. Other than having that extra room for the toes, the rest of the foot is actually quite compressed. And yeah, so I think lockdown in the bigger shoe is not going to be an issue in this case. For anyone out there who's never had plantar fasciitis and dealt with it, it's a very strange sensation. The right foot, in my case, I have natural feeling in every shoe, so if a shoe is bouncy and springy, I can feel that. But the left foot has a limited range of motion, and it is always playing catch up. It doesn't have the amount of sensitivity to nuance as the right foot does, and it's always kind of through any sensation a shoe provides is seen through a filter of pain, and it's a nagging pain. I have been working on strengthening and stretching the plantar fascia, but the nasty little truth is, if you're doing that for a while and all of a sudden it feels better, I have a tendency to stop doing the things that made it feel better and just kind of trust that everything's good now. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It could be feeling better for a while, and all it takes is one, episode of like me walking in a bad pair of shoes or running or something, and you never know what's going to really trigger it. It could literally be going to the grocery store or something. Oh well, enough about that. Let's get into the shoes. So I know it's a little bit odd to be walking in a carbon racer and casually, but I don't give a crap. Obviously, the shoes have a lot of bounce and energy return, but just from what I've experienced recently from other super shoes, this is more of a muted version of that. I think someone that wants a decent heel stack but doesn't want to feel like they're necessarily on a super trampoline, like you're on a baby one, but on a super trampoline, then I think this is probably a pretty good ride. Unfortunately, I'm not running at all today. Today is just a casual walk, and tomorrow is my long run. And truth be told, I haven't ran at all this week. Like maybe day one, maybe of the week, but yeah, so I'm probably going to be a mess on tomorrow's long run. I had to pull back because of my hip was messed up for 2 or 3 days, and I can feel some groin tendon irritation. So I just been taking things easy, and I might have taken it too easy. Well guys, I'm going to do my metered mile, and I'll check back in with you guys after that mile. All right guys, I just did my metered mile, just picked up the pace. At this point it's just 113 beats per minute, which is just a brisk walk. The shoes definitely feel lively underfoot, but they also, if you're going up an incline, kind of gave a sensation where I felt like I needed to dig out of, so that wasn't fun, but eventually kind of found my stride with it. But I noticed a couple times if I dealt with any sort of uneven road surface, I was struggling pretty bad. I almost rolled an ankle at one point. I could feel it almost happen again. I know I don't have the best mechanics and all of that, and stride mechanics, but you know, so I guess it's good for me as a casual user to come out here and try to get used to these shoes before I try to run a race in them. The shoes are very stable in the midfoot, huge plank, you know, of foam there, but in the heel it is very thin. Like, it has plenty of foam in the heel. Problem is, it's just not wide enough for me. Normally, I would wear the rest of the shoes. I'd wear the shoes for like the rest of the day. But where this shoe is going to be an eventual race shoe, I'm going to take it off as soon as I get to the house. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I'll see you out here tomorrow. Later.